What's up, guys? Today, my birthday, we're doing Deshaun Watson versus the Washington Commanders. Let's get it out of the way. Definitely the best game he's played as a Brown. 3 touchdowns, got the dub, couple nice runs, a lot of really good pocket maneuvering. That said, the best game Deshaun Watson's played for the Browns is a really low bar. So did Deshaun Watson play well? Spoiler alert, no. I don't think that touchdown passes mean shit. Obviously they're super important for winning games, but I don't think that they're indicative of a quarterback's play. How the touchdown happened is really, really important, and honestly, both of the touchdowns to Amari Cooper go to show that you shouldn't credit quarterbacks with touchdown passes without watching the tape. Sometimes they belong to the wide receiver. Anyway, without further ado, let's not waste any time. To the film! Browns are going to come out throwing. It's going to be a quick slant to Amari Cooper at the top left of the screen, and Watson's just going to leave it behind him. That's a bad throw. It was wide open. You got to hit that. You fucked up. We move on. Bad throws happen. A little play action, and they're going to sneak it back out to Nick Chubb. Routine. Good job by Nick Chubb. Good play design. Kevin Stefanski ain't all bad. Trust me, I'm no fan of him, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the game. But he's not all bad. All right, so here, Deshaun Watson, and this is a play where you might want all 22, but I think we'll see we don't need it. First of all, we've got 4 of the receivers already in view off the broadcast, right? We see that Njoku's here on a curl. It's not really open. We see, I think this is DPJ is open on a little comebacker. Oh, no, that's Amari Cooper is open on a comebacker. And we see that this must be DPJ. He's running a bit of a post. He looks kind of open, but we know there's a corner right here. So all you have is underneath leverage, and there's a linebacker kind of taking that away. And whatever position this player plays, theoretically taking it away. I understand not throwing that. This ball needs to go to Amari Cooper right now, but the play side is left, so I understand not getting there. Here, pressure comes, you got to bail. Good job bailing, plus movement, throws the ball on the run. Here's why I'm going to grade it as bad instead of a throwaway. Now, you can't really see. It's tough to see. But this ball is inbounds, right? It's back towards the defender. See, notice how the ball lands inbounds. Because this ball's inbounds, it becomes playable. As in, the defensive back has a chance to get a hand on it and tip it. And or the defensive back has a chance to get 2 hands on it and catch it. If you're going to make that throw, and I endorse making that throw, you have to put it on the sideline so that it's a Santonio Holmes in the Super Bowl style catch. That way, if it doesn't get caught, it lands out of bounds or it hits a cameraman. You don't want to keep that in play where bad things can happen. Here, another bad throw. This is just out of the reach of a 6'6" Harrison Bryant. Got to be better than that. This is a neutral sack, but it is impressive. You got to note Deshaun Watson's leg strength here. Look at this. See, I think it's Daron Payne that he's just standing up and deadlifting. That's sick. 3rd and forever, you're just going to dump it off to Kareem Hunt on a screen. That's Kevin Stefanski deciding to punt, and that's fine by me. Pray for a miracle and move on to the next drive. Drive 2, Carson Wentz not very patient, so he wanted to see Watson right away, throws the terrible pick, and we're off and running. Great job by Deshaun Watson to navigate this pocket. Look at him step up under the defensive back blitz and just leak it out to his outlet. Good job. Routine throw, but it's a positive play because he manipulated the pocket well. That's how you keep your offense on time and in rhythm. Here, I don't know what Watson's thinking. I think what happened is that he thinks he's getting pressure right here, and he says, well, fuck it, I'm going to get hit before I can let these routes develop. I know Amari's out there somewhere. Oh. It's double coverage in cover 2, and I let the ball land inbounds. Bad throw. If you're going to throw that away, it has to be out of bounds. Don't give anybody a chance to make any play. And if you're trying to hit Amari Cooper, you shouldn't have. He was covered, and that was a bad throw. Here on 3rd and 5. Now, PFF called this interceptable, and I'm frankly torn. The All-22 is not out yet, so I can't really make a decision. I think it might have been pickable, and my first instinct is that it was pickable, but we got to see a better angle with some higher resolution, and then I'll let you know. So All-22 coming now. So here we got the tight copy, and you'll be able to see that that throw to Njoku was not pickable. It wasn't a perfect throw, it was a bad throw. But as you can see right here, Njoku's got inside leverage, the safety's a little bit upfield, so you've got plenty of room here. The ball's a little inside, so the defensive back has a play on the ball, and Njoku can't extend his arms, use his size to his advantage. but it's not pickable. Let's watch it one more time. 1-2. Letting the play go, you can see the whole thing in real time. It's a bad throw. It's a playable throw. It's not pickable. Drive 4, let's get it popping. And I'm sorry if I'm going fast, but I just finished recording this entire video when I realized that my mic was unplugged. So I'm trying to speed through. Browns are going to come out running. Here we got a really fun play. This is one of my favorite plays of the day. 97 has 2 plays in this game where he has Deshaun Watson dead to rights, and I don't know if they're cousins or something, but he does not want it. He just stops playing. Really poor coaching, really poor tackling, lots of messy, sloppy shit from the Commanders. Ron Rivera, you should be fired. And Deshaun Watson can't turn it into anything. So it's a no-fault sack because this pressure is really immediate. Let's show it one more time. Let's assume that 97 knows what the fuck he's doing. He gets there quickly, he wraps up, and then before he just stops and starts bragging, that should be a sack right there. Boom. Not Deshaun Watson's fault at all. I don't even need to see the progressions. It happened way too fast. That said, if we're going to pretend that that was a legitimate tackle attempt and Deshaun Watson broke it, give him the plus movement. Give him the plus movement for getting out of the pocket. But it's a negative run because he couldn't outrun the dudes to the sideline. He should have thrown the ball away and not taken a hit. That said, it's a no-fault sack. I'm not grading anything after that because that should have always been a sack. Here on 3rd and goal, we could use some all-22 to see if Deshaun Watson's got anybody open, but I'm going to grade this like a throwaway. It's a neutral run because he's literally just throwing it away with his legs. He figured rather than use my arm and put the ball in the air where something could theoretically happen, I'll trot to the line of scrimmage. Here I've got the all-22 sideline copy of the 3rd down in which Deshaun Watson throws the ball away using his legs. Now here's how the play is going to draw up. Here are all the receiver patterns and the zone concepts. All right, now that you understand where everybody's going to go, check it out. Now right here, already, Amari Cooper's a pretty good throw. But I could understand if you want to let the play develop a little further, read through your other options. This up top, this route I already drew out for you, this is going to be the primary read. That's why Watson's looking left to start with. It's zone coverage. It's very clearly zone coverage. This should be pretty easy for him to meet out. Now right here, Njoku is open on the corner. You put this ball right in this gap in the C and let Njoku run under it. Sure, there are defenders in the area, but Njoku is a tight end. He should be able to make a possession catch. And he's closer to the ball than they are. As you'll see, it played out exactly like we thought, but Watson's bailing out of a pocket. Now, again, Watson's bailing the wrong way. I know it's comfortable to run right, but he shouldn't be running right. The defender is to the right. Run left and throw it easily to your open first read. This is really poor pocket management and really poor panic under pressure. That said, that wasn't the only read available to Watson. Let's say Watson comes off of this read to Njoku because for whatever reason he doesn't like it. He still has Amari Cooper open, right? If he pumps, he can draw this safety up and loft the ball over his head to DPJ. God forbid he's too risk-averse for both of those. That undrafted guy, who I keep on talking about, number 12, is still open down here on the zig. Hit him. Okay, don't hit him. But if you're not going to hit him, know that it's because this defender is looking at him, and you have Amari Cooper. You can still throw the ball back to Njoku. He's still open. Right here, Deshaun Watson's reset, and again, Njoku is still open. Njoku is still open. Njoku is still open. Njoku is still open. Jesus fucking Christ, Njoku's got to be having a conniption back there. So not only does Deshaun Watson misread the play from the start, but even after he starts scrambling, his wide receiver one never, well, not his wide receiver one, but his route one never gets covered. And he never looks back to him. This is panic. This is poor processing. Right here, Deshaun Watson's got a brand new play. Amari Cooper's crossing over and clearing this defender. He's got outside leverage. Throw this right here. You've got this defender already coming up. His momentum is coming towards you. You've got the high-low read that you love. At this point, he can't make a play on the ball. Put the ball right here. Let Amari Cooper get under it. Yes, he's getting held. You know how you draw the holding? Throw it to him. He had number 18 right here. It wasn't number 12. It's the other guy I don't know. He had number 18 here the whole play as well. Yeah, it's going to be a tough catch, but it's a lot better than throwing the ball away. Put it in his gut. As soon as Deshaun Watson felt uncomfortable with his first read, he pulled the ball down and ran for no good reason with no plan whatsoever. Bad football. This is not a good throwaway. This is a negative throwaway. So I'm not a fan of Kevin Stefanski, and here's a really good example why. I didn't like him in Minnesota. I didn't like him with Baker Mayfield, and I really hate him right here. 4th and 3, and it's a designed QB draw. Every receiver's blocking. That was not Deshaun Watson trusting his legs. That was stupidity. All right, let's get to that all-22 and see what Watson may have or may not have had on 3rd down, but still looking either way like a pretty rough first quarter. Let the Browns' second quarter adventure begin with a negative run. Now, again, we don't have the all-22, but this is really simple. Watch here. This is where the ball needs to come out. Watch here. Nick Chubb is open on the flat, and Amari Cooper is low-key kind of just blocking. So it's effectively a screen. Get the ball to... Is it Nick Chubb? Yeah, it's Nick Chubb. Get the ball to Nick Chubb and let him get out to the corner. Let him turn the edge and see what he can do. It's 1st down. You're going to get at least 2 yards. You might get a lot more because it's Nick fucking Chubb. Dude is sick. Additionally, over here, I think that's DPJ. Yeah, it's DPJ on the curl, standing there the whole time. And I understand that's the back side of the play and that actually Watson should be looking over here to Nick Chubb because Cooper is blocking. But Watson doesn't read this play correctly, and he bails out of a relatively clean pocket. He then takes a sack. So what could have been a pretty positive play turns into a sack that didn't need to happen. That's bad on Watson's part. Now here, remember I said 97 doesn't want to sack Deshaun Watson? What's he doing with one arm up around Watson's head? Grab him at the waist, throw him down. He doesn't. Good job by Watson. Let's examine this play for all of its highs and lows. Good job on Watson breaking that tackle. There's like 4 dudes in the NFL who break that tackle. Good job for stiff-arming and running away from Chase Young. There's like 8, maybe 10 dudes in the NFL who can get away from that tackle attempt. So 2 really, really good pocket movements. And then he jukes the shit out of 97 again. Really, I'm pretty sure 97 belongs to Deshaun Watson now. Juke, whoop! And then he throws the ball while moving. But the problem is he throws the ball to Conklin. Conklin plays right tackle. That means Conklin can't touch the ball. I graded this play as 4 positive pocket movements and a negative sack. So note, first of all, left tackle, Jedrick Wills, he's false starting. Whoops. Wills has been terrible this year. So plus move. Plus move. Plus move. Plus move. Fuckery. Now, throwing to an offensive lineman is basically the equivalent of just taking a knee. Because that's how the penalty gets meted out, right? So if Deshaun Watson would have broken all those tackles, done all that shit, and then taken a knee, people would be furious. Rightfully so. I'm going to grade the play exactly the same because it has the exact same outcome. It's a mental mistake that is inexcusable and really detrimental. Before we get this second half started, I just quickly wanted to show you guys what Deshaun Watson's chart looks like from the first half, because it's abysmal, right? He's got more misses than he has routine throws, and he's got no positive throws. This is legitimate, completely incompetent, you're going to get benched caliber football. But as you can also see, Deshaun Watson's about to turn it around massively in the second half and play easily his best ball as a Brown. So, silver linings. All right, let's get back to the film. Browns are going to come out, play action again, and instead of doing a little screen to the running back, they'll slip it out to the tight end. Routine play, nothing to it. Here, I'm going to give Deshaun Watson a positive run. He does a good job of pulling. Chase Young was about to fuck that dude up. And he does a decent job of breaking Jamin Davis's tackle on the way to the first down. So, good for you. Solid. Here, that's another routine throw, and Njoku drops it. He's got those alligator arms. He never touches that. He never touches his thumbs together with his 4 fingers together. He just claps at balls, and that's why he drops shit, and that's going to happen. Luckily, he's a physical freak, and he usually makes up for it. Here, Deshaun Watson, neutral run, but real quick, I want to show you, highlight Harrison Bryant, because this is Watson's first read up here. Just look at him. First of all, number 12, this undrafted free agent who keeps on popping up every game for the Browns for the last month, making plays. I like him. He's wide open. Hit the ball. Hit him with the ball. Now, if you feel like you're already too late, Watson, fine. You should have hit him earlier, but you missed, and no use in sunk cost fallacying yourself into a pick. Harrison Bryant's still wide open on this curl. Look at him. He's got body position on a small corner. Throw that ball. Instead, Watson makes a neutral run. It's preferable for Watson to make the throw, but both plays are similarly neutral. They're both routine, fine. It just shows that Watson's not processing the game yet at the speed that you want, because if he was, he would have thrown the ball. Here, we're going to call this a good throw. It's close. It's close. It's about 9 yards downfield. Amari Cooper does an incredible job here. Not even after the catch. After the catch, obviously, yeah, game-breaking touchdown, right? And this is almost all Amari Cooper. I'll give Deshaun Watson a solid throw. I've crowdsourced it with people I trust and a couple dudes that work for PFF, and everybody agrees it's kind of routine, but it's like a good routine or maybe a low-end solid. I'll give him solid. On the replay here, watch what Amari Cooper does. That's Kendall Fuller. He's a good corner, although he belongs in the slot, not outside. I know it's a wide receiver. I know this is a quarterback breakdown, and I'm talking about a wide receiver, but watch how right about here, Amari Cooper starts running only on his toes. He runs on the balls of his feet. Why? Because it makes Kendall Fuller flip his hips. See how his feet are facing the wrong way? He thought Amari Cooper was going deep because Amari Cooper was running on his toes like he was trying to build up speed. Then Amari Cooper throws on this side foot right here, breaks off into his out perfectly, and he's wide open. That is elite route running. Amari Cooper is one of the kings of outbreaking routes, and his reign continues on this play. And look at him stop on a dime and turn upfield. Fantastic. That's really fantastic. I know it's a quarterback breakdown, but I nerd out when I see great football. And that's great football. Nobody runs those routes better than him. Drive 8, we skipped a lot of plays because the Browns ran the ball really effectively like 6 times in a row. Stefanski loves doing this thing where if the first couple runs work, he does it 3 more times and it doesn't matter. Here, Deshaun Watson fucks up. I guess the ball must have just slipped out of his hands, but if you watch, there's a little bit of a pick here. 55. This is Pochich, the center, is way out in space, and he fucks up and kind of runs into Harrison Bryant. But right here, Harrison Bryant's open, and he's got lanes, son. He could go inside. He can go up the seam. It doesn't matter. He's got a ton of room, and Watson just kind of slips it out of his hand. Just falls out of his hand. Might have even been more of a fumble than an incomplete pass. But regardless, it's bad. He gets a plus move for extending the play, and that's why the screen had a chance to work. But that's bad. Here, that ain't bad. 3rd and 9, very clean pocket. Notice, Watson's head never moves. Let's watch it one more time. Watch that head. It stays complete. Look at that. Totally stationary. He doesn't look at a goddamn thing other than Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper's open, and he puts it on him. So if you limit Watson's thinking, and you give him tons of time, and you give him a very open receiver, he can make a good throw. That's a solid throw. It's not great. It's good. And you can keep your offense moving. Now, there's a lot of quarterbacks who can do that. It's not that impressive, but up until this point, we haven't really seen that out of Watson with the Browns. He hasn't been able to manage those average plays. So that's good from him. Here, this is a routine throw on a screen. I know it gets called back for penalty, but the throw still happened and we still saw it. It was routine. We can grade it. More plays we can grade, the better, right? Here, that ain't routine. This is great. In fact, I think I'm going to show the all-22 of this simply because it was so well thrown. It looks wide open, and it is because of the way that Deshaun Watson throws this. But there's a way to throw this that makes it completely not open. He uses the underneath leverage. Watch. He uses the underneath leverage to make sure that Njoku stays open. Because if he tries to throw it over the top, this defensive back is going to be able to make a play on the ball or at least run through Njoku's back, and then you have a Jermichael Finley situation. And that's what nobody except Aaron Rodgers wants. So great throw, best throw of the day by Watson. It's on par with some of his throws to Njoku that were dropped last week, and by some of, I mean one. Here, DPJ's got to catch that ball. It's a pedestrian ball. Here, DPJ catches that pedestrian ball, and he gets to the end zone. Good job for DPJ. Absolutely nothing to write home about for Watson. We don't give out lollipops for not getting speeding tickets, right? You'll see right here, it's just a bend flat route, like a drag, and he doesn't get covered. It's really good play design by Kevin Stefanski. Amari Cooper drawing the linebacker and I think it's a linebacker, the nickelback off. Look at that. This guy was supposed to pick up DPJ, but because of these safeties miscommunicated, one was supposed to come over here to Amari Cooper. Instead, he picks up Amari Cooper, and now DPJ is just standing there. Great play design, a little bit of lucky coverage bust. Decent job, Watson. I think we're on drive 9, and this game is starting to get out of hand. Browns should be running the ball. They're not. Here, 2+ movements and a positive throw away from Watson. Good job outrunning Montez Sweat and keeping him at arm's length. Now here, Deshaun Watson's clearly feeling himself. Good job to keep it. He sees that he's got a convoy. Boom, 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 boom. All blocked up. Positive run. Good job bouncing it outside to pick up an extra 10. And he steps out of bounds. See him high step, and he's feeling himself. And I can't really blame him, because as terribly as he has played to this point in the season, this is a massive upgrade. It's still not very good, but he's not fucking up, and that's really big for him. Here, really, really good pocket movement, but he gets caught by my accountant. Don't believe me? Check it out. That dude did my taxes last year. He does a really good job. Pays attention to detail, wears nice suits, he has his hair a little bit gelled up. Stop it right here. This is awesome by Watson and not get sacked. Like 29 starting quarterbacks get sacked there. But you gotta outrun 95, my accountant. I think what happened is that Watson didn't know there was a dude trailing him, and therefore he just didn't put on the burners. I think he could pretty much outrun him anytime he wants, but he didn't. Now here, after that negative run, because he gets chased down from behind, Watson has dudes, right? Check it out right here. Watch Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. Now, you can see he's open. You got basically a wall of quasi-blockers here. Float this ball out to Kareem Hunt early and let him run with it. Right? The nearest defender is this linebacker trying to key on him. He's 10 yards away. If Kareem Hunt makes one dude miss, you got a first down. Take it. Even here, you can still probably take it. But if you don't like it, you got Njoku. He's looking open on that in route. Now, I understand Njoku's got dropsies, so maybe you're not that confident in him. But you still have Hunt. I get it. You don't want to throw to Njoku, especially now that he's being picked up. But one, number 12, that undrafted rookie I was talking about, he's wide open. He's wide open. And number 2, Amari Cooper, your fucking boy who has bought you a touchdown at least once this game already and will later as well. He's wide, dude. Hit him right here. Hit him right here. And if you're scared of this linebacker, float it. Float it, put it right just to the left of that 40 and let him walk under it. Touchdown. No, instead he's going to run. And he gets caught from behind by who else but my accountant. Luckily, big Jacoby Brissett will make up for it for him. He'll take care of that extra yard. No problem, Deshaun. This is what I'm here for. And we'll live to fight another day. Remember how I said Amari Cooper's going to get Deshaun a touchdown? I think this is the play. Yep. Just wide open. It's a coverage bust. It's a solid throw. Literally any starting quarterback in the entire NFL, most of college, makes that throw 10 times out of 10. But good job by Deshaun for recognizing the coverage bust, getting him the ball, not stopping his motion so he can continue running upfield. My rule of thumb is if there's a coverage bust and it's more than 10 yards downfield, it's a good throw. Because, yeah, everybody makes it, but you still got to go through the process of seeing him and throwing it and being accurate and not worrying about getting hit. Fine. All that's left to do is see Carson Wentz flounder about for a little bit, so let's get to the charts. So it was a little bit of a tale of two halves for Deshaun Watson in this game. The first half looked as bad as Watson has looked since he came back. It was absolutely putrid and almost no redeeming qualities to it. He had one neutral run, but everything else he did was negative. It was 4 pedestrian passes, 5 bad passes, 2 sacks on him, 2 sacks that weren't his fault. He had a throwaway, he had a neutral run, he had a negative run. It's not good. It's not good at all. That being said, he rebounded pretty nicely. In the second half, Deshaun Watson looked very clearly the best he's ever looked as a Brown. Now, he took advantage of some busted coverages, and Amari Cooper made him look good on one play, but what stood out to me is not so much that he was making positive plays, because his positives still weren't all that great. It's simply that he avoided negative plays. He took no sacks. He still had 2 negative runs, but that can be forgiven. He only missed 3 passes. His accuracy percentage in the second half was 70%, which is not good. It's below average, but compared to what Watson's done to this point his Browns career, it's astronomically better. If you look over here at his season-long composite, everything he's done this year as a Brown, you'll notice that this is the first game where I gave him a C. It's a C-, but a C is passing. A C quarterback performance doesn't kill you. Now, the underlying stats don't look so good. Right? Like, he had a 19% positive play percentage, and that's slightly higher than his season average. It is significantly lower than the league average, which is about 28%. He still had 42% negative plays. That's really fucking high. The average is about 30%. The point is, though, that when you string together good play consecutively, it can lead to touchdowns. And that's exactly what he did in the second half. Again, it wasn't great. He only had like 4 positive plays on the entire day. But it was low volume, and he did everything he needed to do for the Browns to win in the end. Carson Wentz throwing 3 interceptions, and your team avoiding any special teams or fumbling gaffes really helps. The Browns would have won this game with most any quarterback. I don't think that Deshaun Watson significantly helped him, and a C- grade shows that. A C is perfectly average. A C is what you expect when you put in a veteran, really good backup. Now, it turns out that most veteran backups aren't very good, and most veteran backups struggle mightily to put up a C performance. But the idea is that a C quarterback doesn't help you or hurt you. He merely exists. An Alex Smith might be a good idea of a C quarterback. Deshaun Watson was a little less than that. He hurt your team a little bit. That being said, he strung together good play when it mattered. He pulled out the win. The win doesn't really have anything to do with the grades, but it looked better. It looked cleaner. He looked more comfortable. We noted that his processing was still pretty bad, and compared to league averages, he's still playing terribly. Even in this game alone, the league average percentage of accuracy is 72%. He's below. League average positive play percentage is 24.3. He's below. League average of negative plays is 28.9%. He's above that. The league average slugging per game is almost a flat 0. He's below that. The league average game, any average game from any starting quarterback in the NFL, usually gets about a C, a little bit under, around a C-. He got a C-. So he came in a little below average in damn near every way. I know that he threw 3 touchdown passes, but I graded all 3 of them. I don't think they were impressive. I don't think that he did anything special on them. It was Amari Cooper making a play on a borderline easy throw. It was Amari Cooper versus a busted coverage, breaking the defense open. And it was DPJ literally not being covered on a 5-yard cross. So I don't think that the 3 touchdown passes... I think that grading a player's performance based on how many touchdown passes they threw and whether or not they won the game is a really good way to put your finger up your ass and do nothing. I don't think that they're indicative of anything. Let me put it this way. If you signed Case Keenum off the street last week, I think he would have thrown 3 touchdown passes given this game plan. Watson's best plays in this game came as a runner. He avoided some sacks. He broke some tackles. Number 97, he gave him the ride of a lifetime, just refused to get sacked by him, and 97 cooperated pretty enthusiastically, refusing to tackle him the first time and then trying to bear hug him around the ears the second time. But Watson broke off the one nice run on 3rd down on the QB keep, and he broke off that nice, I think, 18-yard run a little bit later on. Both really good runs, positive runs. This is certainly a sign of improvement from Deshaun Watson. Against a pretty decent defense, he played pretty decent-ish. But we're still waiting on him to look like an above-average starting quarterback. We're still waiting for him to look like an average starting quarterback. I'm open to the idea that he might be rusty and we might be seeing more of that next year, but until it comes, I can only tell you what's happening on the film. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not his best friend, I'm not his confidant. I don't know what's going on in his head, and I don't know whether or not he's being inhibited by something. What I can tell you is that on film, this is the best Deshaun Watson's played as a Brown, and it's not very good. I can't wait for the comments to be filled with people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. He threw 3 touchdown passes, STFU. But I won't be responding this time. If you watch the video and listen to what I say, you'll know exactly why I don't care about the 3 touchdown passes, and I got nothing else to say to you. Happy New Year. Happy birthday to me. Till next time, I'll be watching film.